with an E6420 processor. So every BIOS basically looks about the same. Some BIOSes, the Gigabyte BIOSes, they have something called Motherboard Intelligent Tweaker. That's where you would find most of your overclocking settings. But other companies usually use advanced BIOS features, so you'll find it in there. Doesn't matter where you find it, all the effects are the same. So you start up the robust, the CPU clock ratio. That's also known as the multiplier. You can set it down. You can never set it up unless you have an Intel Extreme Edition part. You will know you have it if you paid a fortune for it. That means the clock ratio can go upwards. So if I had an Extreme Edition, it would be able to go to 9 or 10. So next is your CPU host clock. To get your overclock speed, you would do the clock ratio multiplier multiplied by the CPU host frequency. And well, this is for this. So for me, it's 395. So if you would do 8 times 395, you would get 3.16, as you can see up there. Now, every time you overclock, you always want to have your PCI Express frequency set to 100. I don't know what it does, it's supposed to be there. So now, your memory speed is determined by your host frequency and the memory multiplier. Here it's written more clearly. So, here are the ones that we have choice from. Auto, you never want to go auto if you're overclocking. Watch what happens. It was before set to 948 if you remember. Now it's set to 1185. That would instantly destroy my memory. So, as you can see, the stock speed is 800. I set it to 948 by what is it? 395 the CPU host clock times 2.4. That would give you 948. All right. Now, these are the memory timing controls. Basically, your memory you buy more expensive memory, usually has lower timings, and I have Crucial Ballistics, and it has 44412. Now, the motherboard, some motherboards, probably most motherboards for some reason, always set those settings up a bit. So by default, they were set to 5, so you have to set them down to what they were at factory. All this stuff, the advanced timing control, I don't even touch that. That's me personally. Alright, system voltage control. This just enabled me, make sure it's manual. It just enabled me to tweak all these voltages. So, first we're going to start with CPU voltage. As you can see, the stock was 1.35. I tweaked it to 1.475 volts. All these voltages, they go up on very small increments. So you get just to find the best tuning you can possibly get. Alright, so you should always, for CPU, you should always go up like one increment at a time, or 1 or 2 increments at a time. You never want to blow your part out. If you overvolt your parts, it will be 1, unstable, and 2, it will have a much shorter lifespan. So now your memory. You always, for some reason, once again, it undervolts your memory, your motherboard, and you always have to add a few volts. It was normal, and then add at 0.2. Never add like 0.3, 0.4. Well, you can, but it's probably too damaging to your memory. So don't do that. You can use memtest to test that. For your CPU, if you have a dual core, you could use orthos. That's what I use.